scam. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, woo, I got some deep web drama for you today, boyos. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like talking about the dark web, and I know that I don't do like dark web browsings on Sundays, mostly because every time you go on nowadays, a lot of the link lists are kind of leading you to a lot of illegal things. But today we're talking about a scam of epic proportions. What if I told you the largest actual marketplace on the deep web just decided to send a little message to all the people on their site and tell them, hey man, you want your information leaked? No? You want all your transactions leaked? No? You better pay us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't like your grandma's Etsy store. I often believe that the vendors on the dark web, you know, the people that are selling illegal material, yeah, those people are part of organizations, criminal organizations, that take matters into their own hands. Extorting those kind of people, well, this is just a recipe for disaster. So let's actually get started with how this has happened, okay? Now, you might be wondering, how do I peel back the layers of the onion and see the shadowy side of the internet, right? So it's kind of like watching the John Wick movies and seeing like the underground criminal society and how it like is basically completely anonymous from the real world. Well, going onto a site known as dark.fail, which is one of the largest journalistic websites or the big resource hubs on the dark web, gave me an alert. Incognito market, the largest, is exit scamming. So at first I was like, whoa, let's go to that Mastodon and get some updates going on over here. And obviously one of the allegations being listed is, bro, they're exit scamming. Users can deposit Bitcoin and Monero, but they can't withdraw. Yeah. You can put money in, you just can't take it out of their wallets. Huge admin BTC outflows yesterday. Staff has not logged in. Okay, so basically what that means, this jumble of words, is the administration basically withdrew a bunch of Bitcoin yesterday. They purchased the news site Darknet Live before the scam. Don't trust it right now. So of course, ladies and gentlemen, they're alleging that their competitor marketplace in the world of journalism in the dark web is bought by the actual scammers. Bohemia is currently facing withdrawal and login issues. The market staff are unresponsive to the scamming accusations. And they're pointing out people like Hugbunter, for instance. Attempt to smear two birds with one stone. So I guess we'll open this up real quick. Hugbunter and the team behind Drugs Hub, who, by the way, they also scam people, has decided to launch a joint smear campaign against Incognito Market and Darknet Live. See how Hugbunter vouched for Darknet Live after the transfer to the new team. So here they listed like an old message from February 16, 2023, where they were basically glazing this website, but of course not acknowledging, recent things right now. So again, ladies and gentlemen, to understand, there's some pretty wild allegations. And with platforms that don't have like public ownership, who really knows, man? It is what it is. It's a wild, wild world. So where is the scam? Okay, so anyways, I went back and I actually checked what the scam was. So what they said was extortion is the new exit scam. The #1 darknet drug market took all of its users' money days ago. Now its admin, Pharaoh, is demanding that each seller pay a ransom of up to $20,000, or he will turn all of their data over to the police. So here, if you sign in to basically the Incognito Marketplace, which I'm going to show you what it looks like on the dark web. So for instance, this is the Incognito Marketplace, right? So if you sign in, and of course I got to blur out all of the drug stuff, you can see that this is a marketplace where you can basically view listings of drug paraphernalia and basically buy it. It's kind of like the eBay, the Etsy, whatever you want to do of third-party drug purchasing, right? And basically the idea is you put cryptocurrency into the actual service, and effectively you can just purchase whatever you want through here. You buy through a vendor, you pay their fee, and then of course you talk logistics and selling of product there. And of course the reason why you have a marketplace like this is obviously just due to the fact that you can have a marketplace facilitate the in and out, right? You can have like the escrow, you can have sort of some legitimacy, right? So if there is a scamming vendor out there, somebody that's just going to take your money and not give you your illegal, drugs or whatever, then they can just run away with the money. These people exist to facilitate some healthy level of trust, right? So when you buy from somebody, you do get what you purchase, and there's a whole, there's a whole rating system and whatnot, and there's incentives to not scam people. But of course, the actual house in this case, basically once you signed in, they said, hey, vendors, check your vendor panel. We got a little something for y'all. Okay, what do you have? What do we got? Well, apparently it seems what they actually ended up getting was this message. Expecting to hear The Last of Us yet? We got one final little nasty surprise for y'all. We have accumulated a list of private messages, transaction information, and order details over the years. Yeah, obviously, you're facilitating the marketplace. You'll be surprised at the number of people that relied on our auto-encrypt functionality. Something, I guess, to make your life easier. Usually you're supposed to do your own encryptions and decryptions via the PGP system. It takes a few minutes, but of course, for some cutting-edge dealers, they might just want to auto-encrypt and everything, right? Like, if you give somebody one click to do something, they won't do the 10 clicks, all right? It's how human nature is. By the way, your messages and transaction IDs were never actually deleted after the expiry. Surprise. Anyways, if anything were to leak to law enforcement, I guess nobody never slipped up. We'll be publishing the entire dump of 557,000 orders and 862,000 crypto transaction IDs at the end of May. Whether or not you and your customers' info is on that list is totally up to you. And yes, this is an extortion. So again, I have no way to confirm this because as somebody that's signed onto the actual website, obviously I'm not a vendor. I don't sell illegal drugs. There's an entire process to apply for vendorship. And of course, this is something that a vendor would see on their panel on the online dark web store. So as for the buyers, we'll be opening up a whitelist portal for them to remove their records as well in a few weeks. Thank you all for doing business with Incognito Marketplace. So basically, whether you're a buyer or a seller on this marketplace, because your information was, again, pulled through their servers, you might be potentially, if you've been doing anything illegal, might be looking bad for you and you haven't been covering your tracks. Even if you're on the dark web, chances are you may have given up a little bit of your anonymity. And honestly, for law enforcement agencies, that's all they really need. Now, obviously, I haven't really seen this personally myself. So again, I have to take what the journalist sites on what the actual posts from Dark.Fail have to say. So according to Crepson Security, some of the actual payment vendors you can see, some actually have paid, right? So they say, hey, you can see who actually cares about their customers below. And of course, you can see like anyone in red, I assume, are people that haven't paid the $20,000. And obviously, you've got, people like the Addams Family or Adderall Can Amazon Cry. That actually rhymes, to be honest. It's pretty good. These people in green have paid the ransom, okay? Just so their information and their data doesn't go away. Because at the end of the day, right, like, nobody's going to want to work with you if working with you means, oh shit, I'm going to end up in police custody sometime soon. So how did people start figuring out that this scam was even brewing in the first place, right? Or allegedly? What had happened was on the board Dread, which is Reddit for, again, dark web people. I showed it on deep web browsing a while ago. It's actually got its own set of lore where it went through so many DDoS attacks, and at one point a dead man switch had to get tripped in order to kind of prove to people that, yes, we are alive and information seems relatively safe. This is what Dread looks like nowadays, and of course, it's just a Reddit that covers, again, topics that would be more germane to the dark web. Things like, obviously, the markets, things like hacking, OPSEC, Monero, which is a very anonymized cryptocurrency. But again, to go into some of the posts from the Dark Web Informer right here, Incognito exit scam has begun today. Warning. So 2 hours ago, I did a BTC withdrawal and both say complete, but none have shown in my wallets outside the markets. So again, somebody tried taking money out, didn't show up in their wallet application or on the ledger or the blockchain. And so now they just created another buyer account, no problem depositing money, withdrew, said withdrawal complete, but nothing showed up. So you could put money in, you just couldn't take it out, which obviously, if you've ever been in the crypto space, bad news. Never get involved with any service that does that. So what had happened was Dark Web Informer said that Pharaoh, the admin from Incognito Market, had provided the following in regards to BTC issues. So the actual admin for this Incognito Marketplace said, "We have made changes in our withdrawal systems. Crypto wallets are now running as multiple clustered servers instead of a centralized wallet. We hope that by increasing the capacity of throughput, we can handle much heavier withdrawal and deposit demand, while preparing for the launch of stablecoin and Ethereum integration. Please note that the initial stages of this upgrade may briefly affect usability in the first few days since the servers are multitasking on both old data synchronization and new requests. And to keep it as transparent as always in light of ever-existing FUDs, which is, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, there are currently 154 withdrawals from BTC and XMR that are in queue for processing." So they were trying to basically placate people in the situation and tell them, don't worry, you're not actually getting scammed, until eventually Hugbunter, who, we mentioned towards the beginning of this, got more involved talking about the situation. So according to the old Hugbunter writes, "A week ago, unfortunately, I can 100% confirm the exit scam now. It is well known that Incognito purchased Darknet Live, that, blog we looked at earlier, the other big resource hub. And previously I've mentioned to Pharaoh that if and when he decides to shut down, it would be great if he could hand over the domain in the process to ensure it isn't used maliciously. I've been talking to him back and forth the past few hours and got to the point where I told him a warning is going live. To which his response was to try and bribe me to take Dread down and wipe all posts regarding Incognito. In return, he'll hand over DNL. Big mistake. He of all people should know that I can't be bought, and I won't hesitate to confirm the exit." So obviously, what happened over here was it would have been good for everyone if DNL could be passed into good hands, and my warning here will not make a difference to funds already lost. So if you were somebody already, putting money into an illegal marketplace, which you shouldn't, you've already lost it, and there's no way you're getting it back. We'll discuss exactly why real quick. So, of course, they quoted a message, "Easy trade, darknetlive.com for 1 week of Dread downtime or clean Dread. I've got no use for the domain anyways." So I guess what's happening over here is Hugbunter tried to get bribed, but because he was an honorable thief, an honorable man, he stood up to Jesus Christ, dude, this stuff is insane. Now, of course, it gets to the point where even the criminals are really pissed. So, for instance, right here, as the saying goes, there is always a grain of truth in every lie stated. In this case, it was you. You were moving crypto between the two old currencies and the two new currencies. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but your actions have not gone unnoticed. They are going to give you time, more time than you can imagine. You are going to think the coast is clear in every part of the globe. Even if you move to Antarctica, you are being watched. Just when you think the coast is clear, I'll leave you a tip. They usually show up between 3:30 a.m. and 4 a.m. Jesus Christ. Putting actual God, they're putting the glowies on watch here. There it is. As people can expect in due time, people can stomach an exit scam. It sucks, but we've acclimated to such a climate and such risks. But of course, the kind of people that are associated in this entire situation are criminals, okay? At the end of the day, if you are scamming vendors that are dealing with illegal materials, that is probably a vendor that is affiliated with organized crime. There are people that are independent, sure. But even those people are scary in their own right, okay? Especially when you're talking about criminals who, if they're dealing with illegal materials, are probably not worried about doing illegal shit like killing you, torturing you, finding out where you live. When you work with cartels, for instance, like seriously seedy drug cartels, they probably have the money to find out wherever you are, and then God knows they're going to have their sweet fun dealing with you if you decided to scam them and even their customers. Forget the customers for a second. Just scamming them alone is already bad goddamn news. Now, look, at the end of the day, do I want to get between one scumbag and another? Absolutely not. But I think a lot of this may even have to do with the fact that Bitcoin is like soaring to the moon right now. So if there's any time to like take out your earnings and run away while the going is good, maybe it is now. Obviously, the marketplace here has burned all their goodwill, and it's going to be interesting to see just how they handle pissing off tons of illegal criminal vendors at any given moment. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm interested to see what the cops do with this. I'm interested to see where this story goes. And if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.